Hi, and welcome to Beauty Over 50. Today I wanted to talk about winged liner. Now, this is a classic look, but let's face it, it can evoke fear in many of us in terms of how to apply it, where to apply it, and what to use to apply it. Today I'd like to show you 3 methods that I use to apply a winged eyeliner to my more mature eyes. I've watched a lot of videos about winged eyeliner, and usually the tutorial is being hosted by a much younger person, and their eyes just don't look quite like mine. I find that even if the young person has hooded eyes, it's still different than the hooded eye that I have as a more mature person. I've tried the technique that I've seen of bringing the liner right out here or up here, and any way I've done it, it just doesn't work for me. I like my laugh lines and they've improved over age, but I don't really want them showcased when I'm sort of in a relaxed position. This method doesn't work for me. I've also seen a technique, very interesting one, with young people with hooded eyes that actually take the liner and put it on top of this lid here, the lid that's hooded, that's coming over. Now, maybe if this hooded section is very plump and has tight skin like a young person would, to carry the liner up and over this fold might be successful. But for me, this fold also contains some very small wrinkles that when you try to put a liner above that, it just isn't going to work. It's just not going to work. One thing that I really want to note about winged liner, when the young people do it, it's just so obvious when you look at them head on, and it looks beautiful. You can see the wing coming way out here, and it just looks glamorous, beautiful. It goes great with their eyelashes, be they real or false. But I think the important thing to remember is that a lot of the makeup that we wear isn't necessarily getting its showcase head on. It could be when you tilt your head, or when you blink, or when you look up, that people say, oh, that looks nice. I like that eyeliner look. I think that's just something to take into consideration. When you do a subtle wing liner look, it doesn't mean that, you're not really doing any wing liner. What's the point? There is a lot of point. The point is that, we look at all different angles of the makeup. Let's start off with my first technique. It is my favorite, and a lot of people would consider this technique to be one of the most difficult wing liner products to use. But for me, the liquid liner is the easiest, fastest, and most precise. The 2 products that I like to use are my black one, which is Stila. I also have a brown one that I like to use, and that's called Lancome Art Liner. I'm not going to draw out. I'm going to start with a small line starting at my crease and going down like that. And then I widen it at the base, just like that, and fill it in. I'm feeling weary to my bones. I guess that's my reason. It's important to note they don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. I mean, my eyes aren't even perfectly symmetrical. In fact, they're not symmetrical at all. So that's important to note. Perfection is not really necessary. Nobody's eyes are completely perfectly symmetrical. So I think having a little bit off is okay. Also to note, I like to rest my elbow on something for support to help with, if you have shaky hands. In my bathroom, I apply my makeup. I usually rest my elbow on my faucet when I do this. Right now, I'm resting it on my knee, but it is very helpful to have somewhere to rest your elbow just for support. And once I've drawn the wing, I'll go ahead and I don't go all the way in. It depends. It depends what your mood is. It's going to be far more dramatic if you start at the inner corner of your eye with your line. If you find that it's a bit wobbly and it's not, a perfect line, that's okay. Because when you put on your mascara, it's gonna all sort of blend in together. Right now, I don't have any mascara on, so it's really showcasing the line. Also, when I'm finished, if I still feel that it's a bit of a wobbly line, I go ahead and take a fairly dense, small eyeshadow brush, one that you might use to apply eyeshadow as an eyeliner. And once the liquid liner is dry, you can go ahead along the line and just gently blot it, and it will blur it out a little bit for you so that it's not such a straight or non-straight but strict line. Right now I'm going to go ahead and put on my mascara and we'll take a look at this look. So this is the look using my liquid liner. I have my mascara on and I think it looks quite nice. Okay, if liquid liner isn't for you, and I can understand that, here's another method that I use. This one is much subtler and more forgiving if you're not so great with the steady hand, and that would be using eyeshadow. The eyeshadow that I'm going to be using today is the same one that I have all over my lid. It's the brand new Natasha Denona mini eye palette. I actually did a video about that a couple of weeks ago, so you can check it out if you'd like. This is the palette. To apply the winged liner, I'm going to be using this color here, the black one. The brush I'm going to be using is my Bobbi Brown eye definer brush. I use this for my gel liner on a daily basis. Any narrow, tightly packed brush will work great for this. This time around, I do already have my mascara on. I would normally do this prior to my mascara, but I applied the mascara with the liquid liner demo, and well, taking off all the mascara is just quite a large job. So I took off the liquid liner, and now let's give it a try with the shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to dip my brush in the black shadow. Now, if you'd prefer to have more of a subtle look, you can use dark brown as well. That looks very nice, just to add a little bit of dimension on the outer part of your lashes. I apply it pretty much the same way as I apply my liquid liner. A lot of people start at the base and recommend flicking it up. For me, I don't have enough control with that method, and I end up flicking it often too high up, and it ends up getting on this hooded lid here, where I don't want it to actually go. I place the brush right there, not at the very edge, not going out, pointing up, not exceeding this fold here. It's beneath the fold. Again, this is much easier without mascara. My brush is kind of catching on the mascara. So normally I would do it without mascara. And after I've created my wing, again, just like the liquid liner, I'll go ahead and line at the very base of my lashes. How far in you choose to go is really up to the look that you're trying to achieve.
It's been a long, hard season. I'm feeling weary to my bones. I guess that's my reason.
I start from about here and I work my way out, but when my brush has very little shadow left on it, I go back in right at the beginning and I just blur it out a little bit to make it look a little bit more natural. The Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette here is an excellent formula for this. I've been using it as a liner, the dark brown and the black, and find that it is really easy to apply. And it has great staying power too.
No vacation's been more heaven since. Between the sun and the deep blue sea,
I decided to take it all the way in on that eye, so I'll just do the other one to match. So that's the look with the eyeshadow. And again, it will look really nice using brown. Even brown with a brown mascara I think would look great. Next up, I'm going to use the same Bobbi Brown eye definer eyeliner brush. You can use anything similar. And I'm going to use a gel eyeliner. The one I'm going to be using today is my MAC Black Track Fluid Line, but any gel liner will do. Again, black or brown, whatever's your preference. So I go ahead and dip my eyeliner brush into the gel, making sure to wipe off any excess so it's a nice straight edge without any gel, you know, gooping around on there. So it's becoming pretty evident as I do this video is that I use the same technique regardless of what the product is, whether it had been the liquid liner, the eyeshadow, or now my gel liner. I start with the small wing, fill it in a bit, and then blend it from the inner lid out, blending into the wing. If there's an error, like I can see I've done right here, there's actually 2 lines, which sometimes can look quite nice. But it's hard to get that on both sides. If you're really steady hand and talented with drawing, then, you know, this can look very nice if you could achieve it on both sides. But I can just go ahead with some eye makeup remover on a Q-tip and get rid of that. So I went ahead and fixed my mishap, and this is the final look with the fluid line. I thought it might be a good idea to show you how I try to fix the wing if I've made an error. I use a Q-tip. This end here I've already dipped into my Neutrogena eye makeup remover. I dipped it in that. The other side is dry. And then you can just go ahead where you have an error and remove it. Then I take the dry side of the Q-tip and just try to gently roll it up and remove any of the darkness that was left over. Then I go back with my blending brush and just gently blend my eyeshadow again, and it's basically gone. And then I can give it a try again, or if I'm just kind of fed up and have enough for that day, I will just pass on the wing liner. Let's talk about the last and final technique. What's interesting about this is when I look at other tutorials, this product is the most popular, it appears, to use for wing liner. It is the one I reach for the least, and that would be black eyeliner. I love black eyeliner for my upper waterline, sometimes my lower waterline, for tight lining, but for trying to recreate a wing, I find it very difficult. I think it's because of my mature skin. What I find is it catches on some of my wrinkles, and it's very difficult for me to get a smooth line. Maybe this is different with different products, not sure. I've tried quite a few and I still have a difficult time creating a straight line with a pencil. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I would love for you to join our community of over 50. The look might not be an Instagram winged liner that the young people have, but I really think that a nice subtle wing looks really nice from all angles on our more mature skin and eyes.